Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going fantastic. I'm so glad you're joining me today. Well, it's first of the month and that means there's a brand new card kit of the month from Spellbinders. This is the quick and easy card kit of the month for June 2023. It's called A Little Hello. We're going to create 3 projects using this kit. But before we do that, I do want to jump in and share with you what's in it. Just real quickly, give you the gist of what's in the kit. Your kit will arrive in this zipper bag. There's a reclosable zipper on here. It's nice for storage. It's heavier doodle. It's heavier duty than a regular Ziploc bag, and it's really nice for storage. So your kit contents will be in here. You get a content sheet with a couple inspirational projects. One of them has a step-by-step project guide on the back, and then right here shows you everything that's in the kit. I call this like a recipe guide. You get your 8 card bases. They're all A2. There's a little bit of texture on the card bases, but they're A2 and they're side folding. And then you get envelopes to go with it. And I love the V flap in here. Super pretty envelopes. Now you also get some card front panels. These are A2. I took mine out of the package, but these are A2 card front panels, and you get 20 in total. So what they did was they took a standard sheet of cardstock and they quartered it, so it measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And you get some purple, some pink, some green, some blue, and 2 colors. You get a light and a dark. So these are nice card front panels. If you want to change your card base to a colored card base, you would just put this right on top, or you can use this as part of your card making project. So you get those. You get some pattern papers. I'll thumb through them really quickly, but there's some that have some metallic accents on there, like this front one does. There's little polka dots on there, but I'm sure I'm going to skip a few. But the colors in here are super soft and super pretty this month. So you get 6x6, and they're single-sided 6x6 pattern papers. You get some foam adhesive and some double-sided tape. You also get some chipboard frames in all different sizes, circles and squares and rectangles. You get chipboard stickers. You get, I say 2 sheets because it's a front and a back. So, and these are nice because there's a little bit of dimension to the chipboard stickers. You get lots and lots of ephemera, and there's 2 of each of them. So if you like to double up on your cards, you get 2 of each of the ephemera. And then lastly, actually it's not lastly, you get some 3D butterflies. Let me pop these out here. These are really pretty, and they're like on acetate almost, and they're layered together. A few of mine kind of weren't straightened out, but they're easy to peel up off of the base sticker and then straighten them out. If yours kind of gets slanted like this one, it's an easy fix. But these butterflies are absolutely beautiful. These are the kind that I like to stick on my camera or my craft desk because they just look like they're fluttering around. So you get those, and then lastly, you get another real pretty sequin mix. These have like some iridescent shavings to them. It looks like they synced all the way to the bottom. And then there's some clay confetti that looks like butterflies, and looks like sprinkles in there too. But you can see the shavings of that iridescent on the very back. It's very pretty. So you get a big bag of some sequin confetti clay mix. A little bit of everything in there. Okay, I'm going to put everything off to the side. I usually like to create a color palette, and I'm eyeballing the blue and the yellow. So we might find some pattern papers with blue and yellow. So I'll trim some down and we'll jump in with our first card. For my first card, this is the color palette that I chose. This is a black and white print, and I really love this blue. I love the soft blue that has the little white detail on there, and then I love the yellow pattern papers. I thought we would use these for today. Now I already trimmed down my papers, and you can see the sizes here. I left post-it notes to make it a little bit quicker today, but we're going to start by adhering a panel that measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches to our card base. I love using pattern, and I didn't get it centered too well. Okay. So we have this adhered. I love using pattern papers, and so I just randomly trimmed down some different sizes. This one is 3 1/2 inches wide by 3 3/4 inches tall, and this is going to go right here in the bottom. After we have this adhered, we have 2 pieces here. I'm going to go ahead and take my yellow one. This is 2 1/2 inches wide by 3 3/4 inches tall, and then I'm going to layer this pale blue right on the top. There's going to be a little bit of open area, kind of like this side over here. And this panel measures 2 1/4 inches wide by 4 1/4 inches tall. So let's layer these together. Now this pattern paper I mentioned is on the thinner side, so rather than using foam squares, I brought in some pop-up foam. This is Spellbinders pop-up foam. I'm going to go ahead and adhere a piece to the back side of this. And this is going to give me a little bit of support for the rest of my elements here. And then I'll add some adhesive. And we're going to tack this down more over toward about 1 inch showing on the right. But we're going to adhere this a little bit more over to the left. Now I did trim down some circle with white cardstock that was just a little bit bigger than my circle frame. This was from our chipboard circle frames, and these are self-adhesive. So let me grab my tool in one, and I'll remove the release paper. It's a little tricky getting that adhesive off, but it is adhesive backed. So you'll just peel away the backing, and then I'm going to layer that on a circle. So just a little bit of that white circle behind there is peeking out, like so. I'll flip this around. I'm going to add some adhesive, and then we're going to tack this down. I have 2 of the ephemera. I have the yellow butterfly and the blue butterfly. I'm going to take them, and then I'm going to, before I adhere them down, I'm going to add my sentiment. I'm going to use my chipboard stickers here. And I chose the one that says nothing but love. Now there's a pink flower on here, and I'm trying to stay away from pink for my cards. So we're going to cover this up with this large yellow butterfly. I'll just remove the release paper, and I will add that right underneath. So we have a little bit of stability there. It's like the perfect width. Now I'll take my butterfly. I'm just going to fold in the wings a little bit, and then I'll add glue on the body, and we'll tack this in the center of our circle. And again, we're going to cover up that flowers just so the sentiment shows. You'd probably want to let the glue dry before you fluff the wings up. I always want to fluff them up before it dries. It's not a good idea. Okay. Now, while that glue dries, I'm going to bring in my sequins, my sequin mix, and we're going to add just a few of the iridescent ones. And we'll just add a couple here for a little bit of shine. And then I'll go ahead and fluff up these wings for a little dimension. Of course, they're going to flatten in the mail, and in fact, if you don't want them to flatten, you could put some small foam squares under here. That way it doesn't flatten in the mail. But that finishes card number 1. A little different way to use some pattern papers. For my next card, I used the same 4 pattern papers. I have the butterflies, the blue floral butterfly print, the black and white print, and then the soft pink, or clearly not pink, soft blue print. I trimmed them down to 1 1/4 inch squares. Those will fit perfectly on my card front panel that I created with white cardstock. I figured that we can create a panel to make it easier to adhere to our card base. Kind of line them up on my panel in the pattern that I want, and I want to make sure my butterflies are facing right side up. So again, these are 1 1/4 inch squares. Now we're going to create a quilted background with this, and I'm going to use my tape runner to do this. And this does, if 1 1/4 inch does leave me a little bit of a gap. And I'm just finishing up my patterns here. Now I am a little bit off center, so I have some here and here. And that's an easy fix. I'll just bring in my paper trimmer and we're going to trim away. And now we have a really pretty quilted pattern. You could do this with lots of different pattern papers. And in fact, if you wanted to create a window in the middle by removing these 2 squares, you could do that. Or I cut out a circle in here. So many uses for a quilted pattern. I'll take this panel and we're going to adhere this to our card base. Since we trimmed it, we need to make sure that it's centered now. I love this look. It just looks warm and cozy, but it's bright and cheery, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, now I have 2 pieces of the ephemera. What we're going to do is layer them together, like so. And then I'll flip these around, and then I'm going to put some foam squares behind here. The kit does come with foam squares, but I like the Spellbinders medium foam squares because they're a little bit more, not as tall as these. These are like double the width. You can see the dimension, different dimensions. So I like to use the less, less bulky because I like layers. We'll put this right in the center. And then that's where our butterfly sticker is going to come in. I would love the white one. Just to keep this soft and subtle, I'm going to put the white butterfly right in the middle here. Maybe a little bit higher than the middle. So pretty. And then for my sentiment, I'll use one of our chipboard. We don't have very many sentiments in the kit this month, but there's lots in here. But I was going for the blues and the yellows. So we're going to use Always Loved and put it right underneath the butterfly here. And then we'll add a few sequins, the same iridescent ones, to our card. And that will finish off that card. Okay, we're going to take the same 4 pattern papers, the quartet, I guess you could call it, and I trimmed them down into 3/4 inch strips. What we're going to do is create a pattern over here on a panel that is 3 3/4 inches wide by 5 inches tall, so it'll leave me 1/4 inch around my card base. And I'm going to go ahead and layer these together just using my tape runner. I'm going to put this one all the way from top to bottom. No, maybe a little bit up, about 1/4 inch from the left. And then we'll just layer them, offsetting them just a bit. I thought about fishtailing them, but you know, I always fishtail my panels, and I thought, you know, I'll just do something a little bit different. So we're just going to layer these. But of course, if you wanted to fishtail them, you very well could. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trim away the excess. Now, after I have this panel done, I'm going to flip this around, and we are going to pop this up and add this to our card base. And I brought in a foam square, but I'm going to need to bring in another one. Let's trim it down. Wonderful. And then we'll tack this down to our card base. We've got to make sure it opens the right way. Should we add some twine? Yeah, I want to add some twine at the very top. The twine I am using is from Spellbinders, or well, it was, and it was discontinued. Spellbinders has some new twine, but it has a little bit of a ivory tint, but this also creates really pretty bows. And this is the hemp cord white. So a nice alternative to the white would be, it's a little more creamier than this one, but it's just as wonderful. I will tack this down on my card base, centering it for a little dimension, because I love dimension. And of course, you don't like dimension, you can skip that part. And then for this card, I'm going to bring in, we're doing butterflies today. I love butterflies. And I really like this blue one. And I love that there's gold on here. So I'm going to add the blue and the yellow butterfly. I like to hold them, kind of figure out my placement, and then I will commit. And I think that's a good spot. We'll lift up the top layer of the wings and just press down on that acetate sticker. I'd probably do one more if we wanted, but I think 2 is the perfect amount. And then I have some die cuts, or the ephemera. These are the small butterflies. And I'm going to use my glue, and we're going to add a couple of these too. I think that's a good spot. And then for my sentiment, we're going to go back to our chipboard stickers. And I'm going to use the one that says "From the Heart." And I think we'll put this up here. And usually chipboard stickers, you have to kind of reinforce with the glue, but these are really nice and sticky this month, which is wonderful. Now I'm going to bring back my sequins and my clay confetti mix. Do we want to add the little butterflies here? No, I think I'm going to stick with the sequins, and I'm going to add a few sequins here and there. Okay, and that will finish off my third project. Get some sparkle and shine. And so here's a look at the 3 cards that I made today with the Spellbinders Quick and Easy Card Kit of the month for June 2023. I hope you enjoyed them. Hope this gives you some ideas on how to use the kit. And have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.